This is Jeffrey Towson from Peking University. I'm here in Porto Alegre, Brazil, about to go on stage to give a talk. We're waiting for this auditorium to fill up, which should be fantastic. And I wanted to talk about introverts versus extroverts and why it's time to get rid of this term introverts. It sucks, it's got to go. More on that. Back in a second.
Aside from my soul,
So I'm just up. It's about 6 a.m. in Rio. It's going to be a bit of a long flight down to Porto Alegre. A couple meetings, a talk, then on the plane back to Rio. So I think this is going to be sort of a 24-hour whirlwind. One of the things you learn when you travel like I do, I'm in hotels about, let's say, 300 nights a year. It's kind of crazy. One of the things I've sort of picked up is take the earliest flight every day. You have to get up at like 5, which is a pain, but you fall right asleep, and there's never any traffic, there's never any lines, the planes are on time. It just makes everything better. So I went to my standard place, which is Casa de Pau Case Home. I think it literally means house of the cheese loaf. I hope that sounds better in Portuguese than it does in English. So introvert versus extrovert. Now I'm getting real kind of sick of these terms because extrovert, that sounds real cool. That sounds like you're outgoing, you're dynamic, you're like the class president, you're like the CEO. Introvert sounds like you got kind of a personality disorder, or you don't like people or something like that. It's a totally unfair terminology, no good. Now, I will concede, people like me, you put us at a dinner party, you do a corporate mixer, or God forbid, a corporate training event. I'm not real good after about an hour and a half. I get tired of talking. Basically, like, my people batteries are empty, and I go and retreat somewhere and sort of recharge. However, that is not because we're asocial. That's what people think. Not true. You put someone like me one-to-one with someone and talk about a subject, I will talk your ear off for hours. It's more that in crowds and big events we get overstimulated. That's very tiring. We need to be alone. That's how we recharge. Here's what I think's going on. All these distraction, noise, crowds, people, it prevents us from doing what we really love to do and what we do really well, which is deep thinking. We can't do that with noise around, so we isolate ourselves, and we can do it there. That's why I don't like introvert. I like power thinker. That's a better description for what's going on. Power thinkers, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, they're not introverts, they're deep thinkers.
You have to put stuff backwards?
Either way is fine. Okay, in the waiting room. And fortunately, there's the little buffet. The waiting room's always good if it has a little buffet. So, pretty nice setup here. I don't think I'm going to be playing the guitar, but... So I'm in Porto Alegre now, waiting to give a talk. I think they're practicing an intro for me right now. But you can see it's a pretty great hall. It's going to be about 1,500 people. We're waiting for them to come in, I guess. So for me, the difference between sort of extroverts and what I call power thinkers, introverts, is energy. You put an extrovert at a party, a corporate event, a mixer, a wedding, and they get more energetic as it charges them up. You put someone like me there, and I get pretty tired pretty quick. However, if you put someone like me on their own, give me a math problem, give me an article to write, give me an annual report to take apart, I can sit for hours and hours, and my energy level goes up and up the longer I'm doing it. I can sit for days, literally days, and at the end I'm more energetic than when I started. So that to me is the difference, like when does your energy go up and when does it go down? So there's two cool models here, extroversion versus power thinker. The power thinkers, we can think about Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. Those folks are total sit by themselves thinker types. And the extroverts can think about Sheryl Sandberg and Jack Welch and Steve Jobs, you know, these charismatic, you know, outspoken leaders. But that's kind of how I see the difference.
There goes a sight from my soul.
So it's early Wednesday morning, back at the airport. I got a little cute coffee, which is kind of nice, and basically I'm all done. That was my last talk in Brazil for this trip. All total, it was about 9 talks of various types, 5 different cities in about 8 to 9 days. So it's been kind of crazy. I'm a little tired. Now, one thing about Rio is the graffiti people are incredibly good at getting everywhere, like tops of buildings, underpasses, overpasses. It's really, I'm not even sure how they go up on ropes or what, but it's pretty much everywhere. So it's annoying, but it's actually kind of impressive. Haha, back on the beach. This is Copacabana, almost home. So everything I just said, unfortunately, has one big problem. If you're a good thinker, if you're sort of introverted, and you're good at this stuff, it does nobody any good if it's just in your head. I mean, you gotta find some way to get it out into the world. And someone like Buffett is amazing at this. He thinks all day long, and then every now and then he makes one phone call and says, buy that. And that's how he translates his thinking into action in the world. Other people, Bill Gates, he writes software. That's pretty much a small group of people, thinking and then creating it in sort of software form. A lot of us tend to do things like we write a lot, we speak, we do research. A lot of us are teachers and professors. I sort of think about it that way. I write and I speak and then I do investment things. And that's kind of how I get it out of my head. But that is kind of a big question, and that's something I'm working on, another topic called sort of megaphones for introverts. I almost got hit by the ball. Anyways, that's pretty much my thoughts on this. Thank you for watching. This is Jeff from Peking University, currently in Brazil.